but after a summer of discontent, the season so far has been filled with joy for the Dogs.
It's really hard to talk about your coach without, especially when there's been a change, without it seeming like a criticism of other people. So I say that, but I kind of feel like Luke's the coach I always wanted to have. There's just something there. It's a bit like, this is a stupid analogy, but there's that song, you know, that Bob Marley song, No Woman, No Cry. I think it's No Woman, No Cry, where he says, everything's going to be all right. Now, 100 singers could sing that, but because it's him, you believe him. When he tells our team, our boys, that they're a good team and that we could be even better, we believe him. I don't know why that is, but who cares? Who cares why it is?
Luke Beveridge is the Western Bulldogs' new coach.
He's seen success, but most importantly, he's been a key player in driving successful cultures. Over the past 8 years, he's been directly involved in 6 premierships.
I didn't go in thinking I needed to change anything. Obviously, I knew I needed to influence things, but I didn't want to come in and just say that this isn't right and that isn't right, because I knew that there'd be a lot right, you know, and there's terrific people who work at our football club. In any change, you know, you need some results. You know, you need just little milestones met, so you can implement it. You get that buy-in. It's okay. All right, this is working, and we had some of that, you know, over the first few weeks, the next month. The players are the regulators, making sure that their teammates continue to do the things that they expect them to do. That's when you're in a good place. If you can get it there pretty quickly, then your chances of success accelerate.
It's so good to see a club that has been down for so long to grab a scalp like this. It's not just a win, it's a big, big scalp.
This team was ready, I think, after having years of being kicked around and losing, feel good about winning and got their sort of footy dignity back a bit, and there's a hunger to keep it going. But there's no doubt that Bevo has brought something else, and what I would call spirit, you know.
I'd seen him, you know, on Fox Footy, but I didn't really know him, and I just thought he was just a stand-up character of enormous integrity, and I love the spiritual side of his personality, and that's crucial at a football club. So I even said it during the interview process that I would like to appoint Bob as captain. I knew I'd go through a process, which we did, and his teammates voted for him unanimously. But you know, we had to breathe a sigh of relief when it came up like that in the voting, because I think it's what everyone wanted.
13 seconds.
Just a foot race.
Oh, it's on. Chase for your life as hard as you can. The flashpoint 5 seconds out. They'll hang on, the Dogs. They are going to hang on. Mark this date down, Western Bulldogs fans. Saturday, May the 2nd, 2015. This club. Oh, this is just amazing. Look at these scenes.
As a singular game, it's easily the best game.
How do you not get emotional about footy? That's one of the best. It's the best game best win I've ever been a part of.
The thing I should have said, which I wish I had said, was that it's the best game for this group. Who gives a shit about whether it was my best win? Who cares? No one cares about that. But the win for this group is the best one we've had, because it might mean something else for the future. That's why I got so excited. And I don't regret that, you know, that's... Keeping in mind, it was the greatest thing ever in civilization at that moment. I pulled it back to the greatest game I've ever played.
I enjoy seeing the looks on people's faces and the sentiment you get caught up in. But then you take a reality check, and it's only round 5, or there's so much further that we need to go and that we need to progress before we have a sniff of anything. Because it's just next week, and there's next week, and there's next week. We just got to keep heading down this road.
That's what it's about. On to the next one, See if we can handle it, and then rip into it again.
This for the lead after trailing by 49 points. The goal umpire barely moves. Billings is at the back. Billings is 45 out. He steadies low, keeps it low, and kicks the goal. This is phenomenal. The Saints have got up off the canvas and have scored an unlikely but heroic win.
Oh, you've got to give the Saints credit. The agony and the ecstasy, really. I mean, there's been lots of positives already this year, and we need to dwell on them as much as possible. Again, we had a good first half. They just kept coming, and credit to them. The Saints were just too good for us in the second half, and hopefully we learn from it. There's no doubt that people perceive me as, I think, vague at the start and too measured, because I just didn't know how to answer media questions around things that I hadn't been involved in, and I needed context. But I don't know, and I'm not sure whether I really care. There's no doubt you do care about what people think about you, but as long as people think that I've got the best interests of our players and our club at heart, and that's all that matters, then that's going to be okay with me.
Clay Smith just did his knee again, guys.
Devastating news for Smith,
Yeah, it's tragic. It's probably difficult for me to talk about it because it's a pretty emotional incident.
It's not fair, It's not fair. I think we have this this unjustified expectation that it all evens out in the end. That you have your turn and everyone has their turn of being hurt, and they come back, and Clay already had his turn. He's had it twice. We lost 4 points, but to lose a teammate, lose a soldier, that'll I don't know what the long-term effect of that is, but it's pretty heartbreaking. Just that in 7 days you get the full spectrum, But just as you don't get carried away last week, you can't get carried away this week, You've got to, It's a long year, and it's just reality. Get a whack. The Saints were good, too good. Can't complain about it. And then, we're the best team ever. So, swings and roundabouts. Thanks, honey.